I'm probably a little late on this, but I thought I would just give my thoughts on Boba Fett's appearance on The Mandalorian and kind of what I think will happen on the well, not what I think, but just my thoughts and what has me excited. Mainly because I'm a Fett fan. I like the Fetts. I think they are the better characters in Star Wars. They're the ones I usually am most interested in. And I loved what the EU did with the Fets. That's why it kind of pisses me off whenever someone always goes, well, what did Fett do to deserve such a popularity? What did he do, really? All he did was just get lucky and capture Han Solo. That was it. And then he died like a little bitch in Return of the Jedi, which is infuriating if you've actually read the EU. It kind of shows why some of these people are dipshits and shouldn't be taken seriously in many regards. Because the EU did a lot with that. Not a whole lot, not as much as it did with the other characters, but it did something to where they made him an interesting character. They made him kind of sympathetic. Well, no, not kind of. They did make him sympathetic, and it made me just care about him more because that's what you do for me. Is you make a character that I can legitimately give a shit about, and you have me hooked. That's something that I don't think a lot of shows do right. And, well, yeah, I am excited to see what happens because, unlike most people in Disney, Jon Favreau and Filoni actually seem like they're Star Wars fans, and they haven't gone out of their way to piss people off constantly. Unlike Kathleen Kennedy, Rian Johnson, and Jar Jar Abrams. So there's that. And plus, I just want to see if they'll do that character justice based on what they've said in the past. How this is supposed to be kind of like a redemption for Boba because of how he was unceremoniously taken out in Return of the Jedi. There's that. Also, I just consider The Mandalorian to be like almost a healing agent for Star Wars fans because despite the fact that I think it's the better of the Disney Star Wars, there's still some who don't like it, think it's bad. Well, not bad, but they have a negative opinion on it, justifiably. There are problems with it that they have pointed out, and I think they have a point. And some of them have probably been jaded by how Disney treated them after they got hold of Star Wars and how they treated George Lucas. I mean, George Lucas, he gets shit on every once in a while. Some people involved in The Mandalorian have been harassed online. And for once I can actually believe it, because I've actually seen them being harassed. If you don't believe me, look up Gina Carano, and I think it was either Data Eraser or Ichibaka. One of them cataloged all the harassment she was getting on Twitter, just because she didn't have a BLM or pronouns on her bio. Where was I with that? Oh, yeah, now I remember. Point is, they get crap. And this is the kind of stuff Disney accuses us normal fans of doing when we don't. In fact, I don't believe for a second a fan of Star Wars did this. But when it happened to Gina Carano or George Lucas, mainly Gina Carano, they said nothing. I heard nothing from any of them. Now, maybe I'm wrong and they have called this out. If so, please tell me in the comments so I can verify. But that's beside the point. It is kind of annoying that the kind of stuff that Disney accused us of doing, they're letting happen to one of the Mandalorian stars, and they did nothing to stop it. And I think Twitter allowed the people who did that to continue, just because they're either, well, no, you actually know what, screw that, I'm not going down that rabbit hole any further. Point is, I like the Fets. And I am a little interested to see what Boba's been doing in the last, I believe, 5 years since the Empire fell. I want to see what his interaction with the Mandalorian will be, because in Disney canon, and unfortunately because of Filoni and the Clone Wars, Boba is not a Mandalorian right now. They could make him one technically, because anyone can be a Mandalorian, despite the fact that Filoni made the Mandalorians look like Hitler Youths in the Clone Wars. And Boba could technically become one. I mean, the Mando might just think he is one because he wears armor that resembles a Mandalorian and just assumes he is one. Or maybe him and the armor provide him the option to become one, which I would love to see, just to see what kind of personality they give him in this new timeline, what his personal code and ethics are, because that was something I liked about the Clone Wars from what little I remember of it. They gave Boba an arc, and you saw he had some personality traits and ethic codes of his own, and he didn't want to do certain things that he thought were immoral. And I would like to see that continued in The Mandalorian. And most importantly, I want to see Favreau and them keep their promise of Boba having some kind of a redemption for what happened to him in Return of the Jedi. That is the most important thing for me. I want to see that character done right. I want to see him be like this morally ambiguous figure that you don't always know where he's going or what he's going to do. And I want it to keep me guessing and just make him interesting again. That's all I'm asking. And all I'm hoping for, but those are just my thoughts and opinions and ramblings. Let me know yours, and have a nice day. I'm looking forward to tomorrow and all this craziness in the real world to be over with, or at least to calm down a little. And remember, the game was rigged from the start.